Yo, what's going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV back with another video, and in this video we are going to be talking about the NFL. Week 14 is almost over. There's 2 games left on Monday Night Football, so I'm just going to get the earlier games out of the way first. First off, we have the Thursday Night Football game where Bailey Zappi threw for 3 touchdowns. The Patriots damaged the Steelers' playoff hopes with a 3-point win. I'm kind of confused by this victory by the Patriots. I thought they were trying to tank. But I guess not. I guess they would have won football games. The wins used to come so easily and so often for David Andrews early in his career with the New England Patriots. The veteran center barely noticed them even happening. So, yeah, I don't know. Getting into it, though, Bailey Zappi, 19 for 28, 240 yards, 3 touchdowns. He threw a pick, but, he was going against Mitch Trubisky as well. Mitch Trubisky, 22 for 35, he threw for a touchdown, but he had a pick as well. Just not as much output as Bailey Zappi, and obviously Kenny Pickett got injured, so that's not great at all. Mitch Trubisky had a rush touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster had 4 catches for 90 yards. It's cool to see him have a good game. Deontay Johnson had 3 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown, and pretty solid Thursday night game. The matchup's not great, but Bailey Zappi, man, Zappi hour. Up next on Sunday, we are going to start with the Buccaneers and the Falcons game. Cade Otton hauls in an 11-yard scoring pass with 31 seconds left. The Bucs beat the Falcons by 4. That's a really big win for the Buccaneers. The Falcons are an okay team in the NFL, so that is a huge win for them. Baker Mayfield knew the Falcons would be devoting plenty of attention to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, so he had to find Cade Otton. That was huge. Desmond Ridder had a rush touchdown. Bijan Robinson had a touchdown. Rashad White had a touchdown from Baker. Kyle Pitts had a tutty. This was a pretty solid game offensively. Baker Mayfield, he threw for 144 yards, had 2 touchdowns. You get Desmond Ridder throwing 26 for 40, 347 yards and a touchdown. He did throw a pick, but, it was a pretty costly pick, I guess. Let's see. Chris Godwin had 5 catches for 53 yards. And Drake London, huge game. I feel like he's been an under-the-radar guy. 10 catches, 172 yards on the day. He's top 30 in receiving yards, I guess. He definitely deserves to be in a starting role on some team. He deserves to be a number 1 option on some teams. So, shout out to Drake London. Obviously, they lost, but hey, a lot of these teams are still kicking it. There's a lot of teams that stand a chance in the playoff runs, and it's going to get really close here. Next, we have the Colts and Bengals, a game that isn't close at all. Backup QB Jake Browning shines again as the Bengals pound the Colts by 20 to stay in the playoff mix. In a span of 6 days, Jake Browning has gone from Joe Burrow's little-known backup to the potential savior of the Bengals season. They still have a chance, and I think at the end of every video, we ought to look at the playoff picture because there are a lot of playoff implications. As we get into the last 4 or 5 games for each team in the season. Chase Brown had a crazy touchdown. A lot of the younger guys, a lot of the guys that don't get as much opportunities are really stepping in for the Bengals and making things happen. Jake Browning did get injured in the 4th, but he was able to do enough to win them the game. Isaiah McKenzie had a muff punt. That was unfortunate. Tanner Hudson, again, all these random players. Joe Mixon was doing a little bit, but it was everyone else, I feel like, that really helped them win the game. Jake Browning, Chase Brown, Tanner Hudson. It was big time. Gardner Minshew, though, 26 for 39. He threw for a touchdown. He did throw for a pick and definitely got outplayed by Jake Browning. 18 for 24, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw a pick as well, but, Joe Mixon got in the end zone. Michael Pittman had 8 catches for 95 yards. And, Chase Brown, again, 3 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown. All those yards mattered. That was a big-time performance for him to have. So, shout out to the Bengals for getting it done right now. Next, we got Jaguars-Browns. Who would have thought that Joe Flacco, this late in his career, was going to destroy someone as young as Trevor Lawrence? But, Jaguars, Browns. Joe Flacco throws 3 touchdown passes. The Browns picked Trevor Lawrence 3 times in a 4-point win. yeah, big time game. Obviously, this team is going to try to have an above 500 season. Without they cut PJ Walker, they don't have their rookie quarterback, some Thompson Robinson, I think his name is, and obviously Deshaun Watson got hurt early in the year. But yeah, when Joe Flacco arrived 3 weeks ago, Brown star Myles Garrett had his suspicions about what the 38-year-old quarterback had left. Those suspicions are damn near gone now because he has led the Browns a couple times. Obviously, they had a bad loss to the Rams, but yeah, Joe Flacco and David Bell again. Just these lower guys on the depth chart are making plays. Evan Engram played really good. Trevor Lawrence was dropping some dimes, but definitely throwing some picks as well. Yeah, Kareem Hunt was playing pretty good. Yeah, Evan Engram, great game for him, I believe. I believe he played pretty good, yeah. Trevor Lawrence, 28 for 50. He threw for 3 touchdowns, but also had 3 interceptions. So everything kind of cancels out from there. Joe Flacco, 26 for 45, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns. He only threw 1 pick, so I feel like that's what kind of won them the game. Travis Etienne got in the end zone. Evan Engram got in the end zone twice. It was the battle of the tight ends. David Njoku had 6 catches for 91 yards and 2 tutties, so that's pretty dope. Yeah, I'm going to go to lunch, though. Catch you guys in a little bit. Yo, I'm back. I got done eating lunch. We are here to finish off the videos before the Monday night games, and I'll probably study for a couple hours. But yeah, we have the Texans and the Jets game. Not a great game, but Zach Wilson leads the Jets to a 24-point win over the Texans. In return, C.J. Stroud leaves late with a concussion. I really hope he's okay because, man, he was having an insane rookie campaign going into this game. And leading an above 500 Texans team is pretty difficult to do, statistically. So Zach Wilson overcame a sluggish start, some big hits, and a week of criticism and controversy by responding with the type of impressive performance the New York Jets have long been expecting. I don't know how you expect that out of Zach Wilson. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, and I don't want to degrade him, but come on, man. It's not going to happen every game. Zach Wilson, Breece Hall connected. Yeah, man, C.J. Stroud, hopefully he's good next week. He might not be. I don't know. Devin Singletary got a touchdown. Zach Wilson had a fumble, and yeah. Nico Collins, though, man, he is over 1,000 yards this season. Super impressive. He's a super underrated wide receiver in the NFL, but there's nothing much to say about C.J. Stroud's game. He got hurt early. Zach Wilson, though, he cooked, man. 27 for 36, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. You get a 13-carry, 65-yard game for Devin Singletary with a touchdown. 3 catches for 35 with Brevin Jordan. Not bad. And Garrett Wilson had a great game. 9 catches for 108 yards. Not really much to say about this game. It was kind of an ass-whooping, but yeah. Moving on to the next game, Rams-Ravens. A surprisingly good game. I was really surprised at this. Walk-off Wallace, Tylan Wallace. Ravens punt returner goes 76 yards for a touchdown in overtime and a 6-point win over the Rams. Yeah, Tylan Wallace caught the punt cleanly. No easy feat on this wet day. Then slipped to his left, spinning away from one potential tackler and racing past a couple of more while barely staying in bounds along the sideline. That is just a choke on the Rams' part. It would have been a huge win for the Rams, too. Yeah. Huge play by Tylan Wallace. Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson had some connections. This Ravens receiving core and stuff, although it didn't really come to fruition at the start of the season, it's actually starting to look really good. Demarcus Robinson had the tutty. Puka Nacua had some crazy catches. Man, that OBJ touchdown was crazy. He said he didn't even mean to catch it, but that route was insane. But Matthew Stafford, man, 23 for 41, 294 yards, 3 touchdowns. Both QBs played really good today. Lamar Jackson, 24 for 43, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns. He threw a pick, which is probably why they didn't win this game as comfortably as they expected. But Lamar also had 11 carries for 70 yards. Another thing to give him credit for. Cooper Kupp, 8 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown, while Odell had a huge game. 4 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Really good game offensively. I wish I watched this game more. I just saw it on the schedule, and I was like, nah. Moving on to the division rivalry that's obviously close to my Packers, we have the Lions and the Bears. Shout out to the Bears, they got it done. Justin Fields leads the Bears to a 15-point win over NFC North leading Lions. This is a huge win for the Bears, still gives them kind of an opportunity. The Chicago Bears could be excused for experiencing a few flashbacks as the final stretch unfolded with another comfortable lead over the Detroit Lions. 4th and 24, Jared Goff threw a pick. Yeah, Jared Goff has not been playing great recently. Justin Fields had a rush touchdown. He also had some deep throws on 4th down. Jared Goff played okay, I guess. Jahmyr Gibbs probably played the best out of anyone on that team. I mean, Jared Goff, 20 for 35. He threw for a touchdown, but he had 2 picks. And Justin Fields played really good, 19 for 33, 223 yards, and a touchdown. I cannot believe people were saying that that Tyson Bagent should start over him. That was ridiculous. But he also had a rush touchdown. And Jahmyr Gibbs had 11 carries for 66 yards and a touchdown. He's starting to play really well for the Lions. Josh Reynolds had 3 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown. While DJ Moore, just being DJ Moore like usual, 6 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. Great deep threat for the Chicago Bears. Next, we have the Panthers and the Saints. This game didn't obviously end just as everyone expected, or went as everyone expected. Derek Carr overcomes recent injuries in a rough start as he leads the Saints past the Panthers. Not really saying much, but they were able to win by 22. Derek Carr sounded determined not to dwell on any dysfunction evident within the Saints' offense after New Orleans overcame 3 shaky quarters and did enough to defeat the team with the NFL's worst record. All they needed was to score a touchdown the entire game, and they were beating this team. So, yeah, the blocked punt late in the game was huge. Obviously, Jimmy Graham, man, he's still in the NFL. That is insane. He had a tutty. Olave had a touchdown. A.T. Perry had a great catch. Miles Sanders played pretty good. I don't even think I have him on my team anymore, though. I did at the start of the season. I don't know what Bryce Young is supposed to do. I mean, he threw 137 yards. That's about all he can do with this offense. Derek Carr, 18 for 26. He threw for 2 touchdowns. He threw a pick, but, yeah, Alvin Kamara got in the end zone. Adam Thielen had 5 catches for 74 yards. The thing that was really helping the Saints win the game was A.T. Perry's 44-yard reception, which is really the only receding highlight on the side of the Saints. So, yeah, not much to this game. Wow, what an interesting game here. Vikings-Raiders. The Vikings beat the Raiders by 3 in the lowest scoring NFL game in 16 years. The brand of football Minnesota and Las Vegas played set the NFL back 16 years. It's a very scrappy game, very defensive game. I like those to an extent, but when only 1 field goal is scored the entire game, I can't really support it. Ivan Pace, though, insane interception to win the game. It was a pretty shitty throw by O'Connell. And obviously we had the Josh Jacobs injury. Hopefully he gets well. Yeah, fumble recoveries, turnovers, all that really helped the Vikings win. And obviously Greg Joseph hitting the only points of the day. Justin Jefferson, he had a catch, but he took a big hit. So he's right back on the IR. He's right back in the locker room, which is super unfortunate for the Vikings. But Nick Mullins came in late in the game. He threw 9 for 13, pretty solid. Aiden O'Connell threw 21 for 32, but he had a pick late in the game that literally lost them the contest. Alexander Madison played good, 10 carries for 66 yards. You get a T.J. Hawkinson game of 5 catches for 53. For a lack of offense, I would say the Vikings played okay, but it's really concerning to only win. I don't know. Their ego just took a big bump from that, so yeah. I mean, simply put, the 49ers just own the Seahawks. I don't know what else to say. Deebo Samuel scores 2 touchdowns. Brock Purdy throws for a career-best 368 yards as the Niners beat the Seahawks by 12. They own them. I mean, Brock Purdy somehow had probably his best passing game of his career. Brock Purdy has an embarrassment of riches surrounding him on San Francisco's high-power offense. The way he is able to get all of them the ball is making the Niners a nearly unstoppable force. I mean, it's one thing to be like a system quarterback and go in and have all your weapons just lined up for you. Okay, we're going to throw to him this play. But the ball distribution is making it difficult. You can't really game plan for one player because if you game plan for CMC, Debo's getting the ball. If you game plan for Debo, Brandon Ayuk's getting the ball. If you game plan for Brandon Ayuk and everyone else, George Kittle's getting the ball. Hell, they could even get Juice Check involved if they wanted. It's crazy. George Kittle had a huge touchdown. I mean, these guys go deep when they score touchdowns. I mean, 40-plus yard touchdowns out the ass for this team. DK Metcalf, I don't know why you're pressing Fred Warner. I'm not sure what you're thinking there. Drew Lock had an okay game, I guess. Yeah, Debo went crazy. Brock Purdy just throwing it deep. And, yeah, Drew Lock didn't play horrible. I mean, 22 for 31, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw 2 interceptions. Brock Purdy threw 1 too. But he also threw 19 for 27, 368 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey had a great game, insane game, 16 carries, 145 yards. You get Tyler Lockett going for 6 catches, 89 yards, while Deebo Samuel continuing to impress. He's had a really good past couple of weeks, 7 catches, 149 yards, and a touchdown. So, yeah, great game for the Niners. This is probably one of the most controversial games of the week. We have the Bills and the Chiefs, a game that I thought was going to be good, and it met those expectations. Bills get the go-ahead field goal late, take advantage of the Chiefs' penalty to hold on for a 3-point win. Sean McDermott thought for a moment that a difficult week for him himself and the Buffalo Bills would end with one last gut punch, an audacious touchdown pass by the Kansas City Chiefs with just over a minute left to steal a win. But no, offensive offsides. And apparently that's not a good call. Apparently you shouldn't ever call that in a game, according to Patrick Mahomes. Not really understanding this. Mahomes, like, you're calling it offsides. Like, yeah, that's the rules in the NFL. You can't line up across the line. Unfair advantage, of course. Rashee Rice is having a great season. He's definitely going under the radar. I mean, one of the better rookie receiving seasons we've seen recently, probably. Taylor Swift in the stands. She's a curse now. They've lost some games with her in attendance. So, yeah. Josh Allen had some crazy runs. But, yeah, man. Josh Allen, though, 23 for 42, 233 yards and a touchdown. He did throw a pick. But Mahomes, I mean, 25 for 43, 271 yards and a touchdown. He threw a pick as well. I don't know. It's a pretty close game between the two quarterbacks. Pretty fairly matched up. James Cook had a great game. 10 carries for 58. Not only that, he had 5 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown. So you were getting it all if you had him on fantasy for sure. Travis Kelce, 6 catches, 83 yards. We know he's going to have a good game. It obviously didn't end up in a win, but hey, the refs cost us the game even though they carry you every single game. So, yeah. We had a couple more games left here. First, we're going to talk about the Broncos and the Chargers. Broncos are just taking care of business right now. Got to give them credit. They've been having a great season. Up till this point, man, I mean, honestly, they had a pretty bad one to start the year, but they are really making it work. Russell Wilson throws 2 touchdown passes. Justin Herbert gets injured as the Broncos cruise past the Chargers. They win by 17. Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos put themselves back in the AFC playoff race with a 17-point victory over the Los Angeles Chargers, whose season continues to go further off the rails after their quarterback got injured. So, Courtland Sutton's had some of the best catches of the year. He's insane. Hail Mary. Troutman had a nice catch. Yeah. Courtland Sutton's ridiculous. I don't know. Herbert got out with a hand injury. You just got to pray for the Chargers because, I mean, they still probably have a chance to make the playoffs. But if Herbert doesn't come back in the next week, they're probably done. I'm not going to lie to you. Javonte Williams played pretty good. But yeah, Russell Wilson, 21 for 33, 224 yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw an interception, but he was going against, who is it? Easton Stick, 13 for 24, 179 yards. I guess that's not bad, for a new guy, I guess. Austin Eckler, 10 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown. Javonte Williams had a rush touchdown of his own. Courtland Sutton played great. 3 catches, 62 yards and a touchdown. Nothing spectacular, but the catches he made were great. Quentin Johnston, after, kind of having some big drops, he had 3 catches for 91, so yeah, they lost, but you still have to kind of give him some credit. So getting into Eagles and Cowboys, the Sunday night game, pretty disappointing for the Eagles. I mean, Dak Prescott and Brandon Aubrey helped the Cowboys pull even with the Eagles in the NFC East with a 20-point victory. statement losses for the Eagles right now. Mike McCarthy was nervous for an NFC East showdown with Philadelphia after the Dallas coach missed 2 days during the week after an emergency appendectomy, which is an interesting story, something on the sidelines that no one really knows about. Michael Gallup had the Jordan shrug. That was cool. Brandon Aubrey, man, the former soccer player, 60-yard field goal, then a 59. Jalen Carter had a scoop and score. That was kind of cool. Rico Dowdle had a touchdown. Man, CeeDee Lamb played pretty good. It's unfortunate that I was going against him in my fantasy. I think I'm going to win this week, but we'll see. Man, Jalen Hurts, I mean, he didn't play bad. 18 for 27, 197 yards. Definitely could have done more, especially when you're playing against MVP candidate Dak Prescott. 24 for 39, 271 yards and 2 touchdowns. Another great game for him. But, I mean, A.J. Brown had 9 catches for 94. You get a 5-catch, 72-yard performance for Jake Ferguson, the rookie. There's not much to say about this game. It was an ass-whooping. It didn't really seem like the Eagles had too much of a chance going into, like, the second quarter, honestly. So, not a great primetime game. Tonight's games I don't think are going to be very good either. I hope the Packers can win, and obviously the Dolphins should win. So, I don't know. See you guys then when those games happen. Well, the Monday games are over, so to wrap up the week, we're going to talk about both of these games really quickly. Packers-Giants. I mean, I can't be too mad as a Packers fan. We just came off of winning 3 in a row, and we're currently in the wild card. So, yeah, Tommy DeVito leads a clutch drive to Randy Bullock's winning kick as the New York Giants beat the Green Bay Packers by 2. The New York Giants had the ball late in the game with a chance to rally for an improbable win. This was a super ugly game, one of the sloppiest games of the entire week. Obviously that huge throw to Wan'Dale Robinson, who had an insane game. Malik Heath had a crazy catch. I think he went to Ole Miss or something. Saquon, that Saquon fumble was crazy. This was just a crazy game in general, such a turn of events. Tommy DeVito's family was in attendance, and his agent. That was kind of like a little highlight we got there. Good stuff, man. I can't really be that mad. It was a fun time. I mean, Jordan Love, 25 for 39. He threw for a touchdown. He did throw for a pick, though. And Tommy DeVito threw 17 for 21 with a touchdown. Saquon had 2 tutties, so shout out to him. He had a great game. Yeah, Wan'Dale Robinson, 6 catches for 79 yards, while Tucker Kraft, I think he's a rookie. I want to say Tucker Kraft is a rook. He's got to be close to that. I mean, he had 4 catches for 64, though. Outplaying, I think Musgraves might be hurt or something. I'm not really sure, but yeah. Unfortunate loss. We're still in the wild card, and we got the Panthers next week. I'm not too worried. So wrapping up the entire week of football, we have the super improbable win of the Titans and Dolphins. These were 2 crazy upsets in a single night. Will Levis rallies the Titans for 2 late touchdowns. They win by 1 over the Dolphins. They were down by 14 with 3 minutes left. Will Levis knew he couldn't get too caught up on his mistake. The Tennessee Titans rookie made a bad pitch to running back Derrick Henry in the 4th quarter against the Miami Dolphins, resulting in a fumble that eventually allowed Miami to take a huge lead. You know, they kind of went on a run in this game. Titans sacked them. That was a huge win for the Titans because that's really what keeps them in the playoff race. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're on the verge of getting eliminated. But Derrick Henry had a huge tutty. Yeah, Will Levis was going crazy, man. I didn't think he was really going to have a good game at first. Raheem Mostert had a tutty. Titans had a crazy fumble. Just a crazy night for football. Will Levis, 23 for 38, 327 yards, a tutty. He threw a pick. Tua threw 23 for 33, 240. He didn't play bad, but I mean, without Tyreek Hill, it's not like he's going to go out there and play good either. Tyreek really matters to this team. Yeah, Raheem Mostert, 2 tutties. Derrick Henry had 2 touchdowns. My boy D-Hop, 7 catches, 124 yards and a tutty. How do you like that? Jalen Waddle, replacing Tyreek in a decent fashion, 6 catches, 79 yards. I know I'm kind of going fast through this game, but I didn't really tune into it until later in the game, and I'm out. I got to get going to bed here soon. I also still have to record this NBA video. There was a lot of good games on tonight, so we will be covering those here shortly live on the channel, but yeah, you guys are getting this on Tuesday. I have a fucking final that I have to literally damn near do perfect on to pass the class. So that's not looking good. It is what it is. I'll try my best. But, oh my god. At least I tried. I'm out.